If you are interested in starting your own podcast, we use Buzzsprout because it is simple and easy to use. Buzzsprout can get your show listed on every major platform while giving you the resources for a great podcast website, audio players that can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening to your podcast, and tools to promote your episodes. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and that is why over 100,000 podcasters are already subscribed to Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Following the link in our episode descriptions lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you. So in return, you will receive a $20 Amazon gift card from Buzzsprout while signing up for a paid plan. Most importantly, every subscription through our link is always appreciated and helps support our show so we can continue delivering the quality content that you guys listen to. That being said, back to the show.
Hello, and welcome to Comic Book Junkies. I'm Andrew,
This is Joe.
and we're back at you. This time we're changing it up. If you're an old head around here, the main deal today is going to be we're going to talk Peacemaker, but I feel like we should just do a little check-in since the last time we recorded. Well, I don't know why. It feels longer in between episodes than last time, even though I'm pretty sure it was the same amount of time. But we're going to talk Peacemaker. We used to talk TV shows and movies a little bit more in the earlier days. As the shows evolved and as comic book television has gotten worse, and also the just sheer amount of it since we started. Not going to review everything. In fact, we hardly review any of it anymore, to be honest, unless it's like a big release that we wanted to see. But we're going to go back to our roots because we loved Peacemaker 1. I'm pretty sure we did a review for that, or at least talked about it enough while it was coming out.
You know what? I don't know that we've ever done an episode about it. I might be wrong, but in like one of our first ever episodes, we talked about the idea of a Peacemaker show because like it was like introduced, but like it wasn't out yet.
That's crazy. And the fact that there was like 3 years between seasons, like we're just now getting to season 2.
I know, and we're talking about like what season one's gonna be like 5 years ago.
Right. And largely it's been better than you could have anticipated for a comic book TV show. Do we want to get right into that or
Yeah, because I don't know that I've bought any big comics worth noting since.
nothing
So
big? Yeah, you
yeah.
know what? Me neither, I don't think. Let me just do one quick review because I've tried to hold off. Did we already mention the sales books?
Last I talked was my Blade. I got a Creeper sense.
Right. I got like a first cameo Mary Jane. I got the first appearance of the Porcupine, which isn't really big, but it's cool. First Inner Gang and Morgan Edge, Smallville gang. And then I was also able to get a Doc Samson. So I'm pretty pleased.
That's what's up, bro. I got some more minor X-Men stuff, but nothing of note. But yeah, let's get into it.
Real fast, they are having a sale at the shop and they just got new Thor stuff in, and the stuff that's on sale is Thor, and I'm itching to get up there. I just want to sift real quick and see what kind of Thor stuff I can get for a good price.
That includes Journey into Mystery too. I
It
saw them
has to.
showing books that were Journey into Mystery.
I saw that and I'm just like, well, if that's the case, then let me get up there. But yeah, that aside, actual book talk, let's get into the show. Season 2. Oh, Julian. The horns and the, you know what? Let's start there. A lot of people, hot debate, they love the intro dances. Do you know if you prefer season 1 versus season 2?
To be honest, season one was so long ago, I can't tell you if I prefer one to two, but I'll tell you I enjoyed the season two intro.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the dance.
I love the dance because here's the thing, like it's supposed to be goofy, the whole show. And like what better way to set the tone than a goofy intro?
Right, like fully choreographed to like just a song. It's just cool. It's got the whole
They
cast
put a
doing
lot
it too.
of effort into something that doesn't matter, which is why I really appreciate it.
Well, people hardly put in like that much effort into the intro of a show anymore because it's so skippable. But I think that, you know, the timelessness of it will hopefully shine through. Like they did something different for it. Dancing's not even integral to the show, but they're just like, screw it, dancing every time.
No, I do think it's important though, because I guess kind of to our chat this morning with Charlie, like music's a big part of this show, and some of it makes sense and some of it doesn't, including the intro. So my favorite part of like the music blending in with the story is that the obscure references to those like hair metal bands,
I
and
love
John
it.
Cena, you know, and some of it's too emo, kind of to your point earlier, but
Yeah.
I thought that because music was a big part of this show, that they had to do something like that for the intro. And then there was one song they played, "Take Me for a Ride." I actually enjoyed it in the context of the show, so I looked it up, and I didn't really like the whole song, but that part of the song was pretty good for that part in the show.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I had problems with the music is sometimes I guess like I feel like maybe it's not like obscure in the fact that like I'm not aware of it, so I'm being a music snob. It's more so in the fact that it's just like I feel like you're just trying to be different with certain songs and picks. And sometimes they don't always have a context that fits or maybe would be off-putting to a fair amount of your audience. I mean, it's an artistic choice. And I mean, you know what? I would love putting all my favorite songs in the shit I was making if I was in the business of making movies, being like, oh, I'm going to show the people some good songs.
Which is
Uh,
exactly what it feels like, but it's just like it's so personal to James Gunn that it's like not relatable.
yeah, I agree. Like, I don't really feel anything when I hear those songs. Like, I'm just watching the scene with that song on. So, personally, can't connect. I'm sure there's people who do. Hopefully, you're not one of them. I'm just kidding. But kind of. But I think that it is central to the show. I mean, I feel like they like pride themselves on that. And I will say back to the original point, I preferred the season 2 intro, actually. I went back and watched the first one because I had kind of thought of the question. I was like, well, I need to know. I even think like the song works better with the choreography. And at first I didn't like the song, but then the more I heard it, I kind of liked it. Not like enough that I'm going to download it and like drive around to it, but in the context of like when it comes on, I'm not like, ooh, like I like it in the context of the song, mostly because I'm a weirdo and I like horns and like stuff that's like symphonic and stuff, or you'd find in like a symphony like the fucking woodwinds. I mean, not that that song has it, but I kind of like the fact that the song, like the intro opens up with the horns blaring and then like the lights are flashing and then John Cena fucking starts hitting that shit.
I love all the memes of
Oh,
like the
they're great.
raunchiest shit going on, and then they play that song.
Oh, I
It's
know.
hilarious.
Yeah, like national tragedies and all. And then,
I know. Yeah, I've seen some pretty foul ones.
yeah, it's crazy. But
But
just,
it
I
kind
like
of feels like a place for James Gunn to do that stuff because he can't do it with Guardians of the Galaxy anymore.
and the fact that he's in charge now of DC. So whatever he wants to let fly, he'll just do. And then in the sake of like comic accuracy or whatever. But that's the one thing I do like about this show is that there's not much to go off of in basing the character, so you could really make it its own. And I actually really enjoy the cast, like as a whole, like more so than season 1 as well. I think a lot of characters had growth and were more enjoyable.
I'll let you kind of run away with this one, but Tim Meadows really stole the show.
Bro, I've been telling you, I love having Tim Meadows on the show. He was perfect from the first episode. I was just like, this is so stupid but goofy that I love it. I mean, he's in like all kinds of classic comedy movies throughout the early 2000s and stuff like that, especially like Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. Love him. But Langston Fleury, great addition to the cast, which, by the way, you know what? Take that one brief moment and intro aside, we haven't gotten into any real spoilers. So if you haven't watched it yet, one, get to it, and two, turn this off and come back to it because we're going to just talk about everything or whatever we want. Back to the point. Flurry rules. Really weird guy. Bird blindness. Great bit. Just the delivery on the lines, which honestly, I want to give props to Economos. Way better this season. He was actually pretty hilarious. He was up there with Flurry, and I think that their riffing together was also like legit. For a relatively slow season, I would say, where not like a ton happened, I like that the character work was at least like pretty funny.
I liked when they made him distract and he would tell these terrible jokes. It kind of reminded me of like a Norman McDonald bit.
Yeah, just anti-comedy. No, he was great in that. Just like compared to like the first season, John Cena's kind of shitting on him at the beginning of it. I'm just kind of like, yeah, fuck that guy too. Now he really earned his like spot in the crew.
Keep. No, for sure. Kind of not unique to season 2, but I think it's cool that they make Peacemaker such a huge part of the DCU,
I
given that it's
love
like
it.
a Charlton character. And John Cena continues to kill it as Peacemaker. The first season feels like it's more of like a unique project, but as things get goofier, you start to really enjoy that it's like a fun take and it doesn't take itself too seriously.
No, it doesn't take itself seriously at all while still having a mix of serious moments.
It's
But
got a lot of heart,
it's
but
got
so
a
did
lot of heart.
Superman. Like, I think that's kind of the recipe that James Gunn has going on, music and heart.
Wholesome. And you know what? I'm for that. Which, by the way, there's rumors they might sell off Warner Brothers and that they could change up the DC people. I hope they don't do something stupid like that. When you finally got traction, DC Comics are doing well.
That would mess me up because I just started to get excited about this stuff.
Right. Peacemaker's great. I mean, it's been great quality both seasons. So I want more stuff like this. And like you said, I love that he's a big part of it. Like he's ushering in the big parts of the stories and stuff like that because it is John Cena and it is a character you could kind of do like crazy shit with.
I like that they're world building through all of their projects too, and how interconnected everything feels, especially like giving us like a Lex Luthor cameo in the second to last episode. By the way, that was by far the best episode.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
still kind of like randomly laughing about the idea of John Cena living in like a Nazi version of his normal world. And he enjoys it so much more and not knowing that it's that, even though the signs are everywhere.
Like the giant mural.
Right.
He's just like, I never noticed.
What a
Imagine having
twist.
such a good time.
I know. He's so happy.
That's crazy. I like though too that he kind of like instantly snapped to it despite the stuff with his family, which by the way, his dad not being a Nazi, hilarious.
Yeah.
So
This season was funnier.
yeah, well, kinda. It's hard to say. They're both pretty funny,
Yeah.
but in different ways because this is more of like the focusing on Peacemaker type show, like about the character, like Chris. Like he wasn't even in costume as much as he was in the first season. It's all about him trying to get his tip wet with Hardcourt.
Yeah, they took a kind of a backseat or it kind of slowed down a lot of the vigilante stuff. I feel like he was a
Yeah.
bigger part of season one. But what do you think about Rick Flag Sr. being such a big part of season two and kind of everything? Because he's in Creature Commandos. I think he makes like a quick cameo in Superman, if I remember that correctly. I don't think he's enjoyable enough to be a main villain. So it's kind of interesting that he is spread apart every single project. But it does make sense for Peacemaker specifically.
It does make more sense for Peacemaker specifically. That should be more in his wheelhouse. But I guess I don't mind him being around. I don't know what the insistence around the Suicide Squad being the center of everything all the time is. Like they were never even that huge prior to that. Like
Th-
prior to
that,
adding Harley Quinn to it.
Yeah, I guess that's my biggest gripe. I feel like you could use a better or bigger villain for something that's going to spread across everything.
But it's like Rick Flag's not even a bad guy in most terms, but he seems like it in this. I don't know if that's just because of like the context of the story. Like technically Peacemaker was like the guy who killed people, vigilante. He would kind of deserve that through his lens, through Rick Flag's lens. But he was like a piece of shit the whole time, being manipulative, like vindictive, and he just feels different from kind of how he's portrayed in the other two shows he's in. I mean, like I said, that might just be the lens of like the main characters of the story is how they perceive him, and that's how they're writing him, which makes sense, but also it's kind of not cohesive, like his character, like literally who he is. Like, I mean, like a minor continuity gripe is that he's like silver haired, but now like he dyes it black because he's got, so he looks visually different from his first appearance, which is goofy, but I mean, it's going to be different across mediums like that from an animated show to a movie. But then also just like, he was kind of like the good guy despite being like an idiot points in like the Creature Commando show. Like he had his like heart in the right place. Superman, he was kind of hesitant at first, but then he was kind of like, yeah, you don't have rights because you're an alien. And then in this, he's just a straight up dickhead working with Lex Luthor all of a sudden. It's just like, okay, well, they're making him a villain, and I don't really understand how rapidly that shift had to go. But I don't know. I'm on Team Peacemaker all the time, and I'm all like, doesn't matter what he does. It's John Cena. Like, I'm not gonna root against him, bro. So it's like a part of me, like Rick Flag was maybe my least favorite part of the season,
I
to
think I
be
agree.
honest.
I guess that and maybe my least favorite part was the finale. I think that
Oh,
season one had a much better finale than season two, even though I think I enjoyed season two overall better.
interesting.
I think it was more consistent, but I think season one maybe had higher highs, and it's hard to say. They're both really good. They're both worth watching.
Agree.
I like that he always has a beginning, middle, and end because like you can either call it quits after season two, or there's a lot of material to springboard off of to make content for season three. But I don't know. It just didn't give me as much to look forward to as the season one one finale did.
Well, the
The
season two
one thing I
finale.
will say is both season 1 and 2 for me kind of started off slow, and every episode was better than the next until it like the season was over. This one I felt like kind of did the same thing. Like I loved the ending of episode 6, and then episode 7 was like amazing. I really did enjoy the Lex cameo, and then the finale just like I said, just didn't give me a lot to look forward to. But I am excited for what comes next. Not necessarily with this, even though I would watch it regardless because I love John Cena as Peacemaker, and they've hit on everything. But more so like the lanterns and like the whatever they do next for Superman stuff.
I think they said that the Green Lantern stuff might tie into what they're doing next, at least a little bit. And they're just setting up Salvation Run, which is an interesting storyline to go with for like the first big one, because that's what the cliffhanger was when they sent John Cena to that weird planet through a doorway. But I mean, it was really just a big old music video, nothing doing for the finale. He shouldn't have hyped up the finale the way he did because it was kind of weak. It wasn't bad in my opinion. Like I'm not like upset. Some people are like very vocally like mad about it, which I don't understand. It didn't like, irritate me like that. But, I thought it could have been stronger based on like everything else we got. I mean, it was kind of like a long build to the Nazi world just to be resolved in like 1.5, 2 episodes. And then episode eight's just kind of like an emotional tie-in type thing. They form checkmate, but then he gets immediately thrown into a Salvation Run. So eventually that's going to pop up. That's going to be the big story. I don't know when we see John Cena as Peacemaker again. Word on the street is they're not doing a third season proper. I'm sure that they'll probably use the crew in other projects, but whether that's like a checkmate show or they're going to be like cameos in like a film, I don't know. But it at least looks like they're kind of setting things up for him to still be part of the core of the DC universe. I don't like though that they wrapped everything up, kind of gave them a happy ending just for him to get abducted in the final minutes and thrown in there. Like it was just like that last little taste of like Flag being annoying, and I was just like, okay.
Did you like season 2 better than season 1?
I haven't watched season one in a while. I remember really, really loving season one, and I do really like a lot of what they do in season two, but it was a lot slower, and then the finale was probably worse in my opinion than season one. So they're pretty close. I do like a lot of what they did, and I did like a lot of the characters better this time around. But I don't know. I'd have to rewatch season one to give you a true answer. But I really enjoyed season two. Like I would love a season three, despite them sounding like they don't want to do that necessarily. But I'll take them where I can get them. John Cena and company rule. Like I said, all the characters got better from last season to this one. Maybe it's just because we already know who they are at this point and the growth they had in the first season. But like I said, just a lot of characters. Like even some that were introduced were pretty good. Not a ton of them. It's mostly just Flurry.
I think season 1 was a little more bizarre, so I could see more non-comic book people liking season 2 better because season 2 was goofier and maybe like a little more consistent. But there were moments in season 1, like that first like dance scene of John Cena where he really cuts loose, that are just so bizarre that it's kind of hard to take your eyes off of it. Where like I didn't feel like this really had one of those moments.
Yeah, there was nothing that crazy. I mean, the whole thing was just shot around like episode 6 and 7 pretty much. Because like if you think about like the first like 2, 3 episodes, it's just really like, oh, the government's after him. He ain't doing a whole lot. He's sad. And like it takes like 4 or 5 episodes for him to go in there full time. You know what I mean? So it's like it's real slow. A lot of like we're at the government stuff. A lot of what are they doing? But I really liked it. I do agree. A lot of people are upset that there wasn't more vigilante because he pretty much is stealing a lot of the scenes when he's in it because he's such a weird guy. He's like a better
He's so mean to
Deadpool
his
than
mom.
Deadpool. Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
he is better than Deadpool.
For real. He'd be better off than Ryan Reynolds.
I agree.
But great for the show. Like I mean, just everyone being annoyed by him, but ultimately just letting him stay around, and like the way that bites them in the ass at the end of the season.
That scene where he kills Peacemaker's dad is
Bro, he just stabs the shit out of him.
hilarious. Oh, I guess one thing I'll say too before I give my final rating. I liked Roy from The Office as Peacemaker's brother in this.
He did great, to be honest.
Yeah, he
He's
nailed
cooler
it.
than Jim.
I didn't like that he was so hell-bent on hating him after he found out that he came from like a different version of their world. But up until then, like it was like fantastic. That whole dynamic with his family family in that other world.
I know, it's just so crazy. It just, and I mean, come on, the way he delivered that line, you know what I'm talking about? One got out. It's like, holy shit. And like, that's how the episode ended.
I know.
That was crazy. So, I mean, I guess maybe that's the bizarre moment. It's less
But
bizarre, but
yeah,
just more shocking.
yeah, that fair. That's fair.
Because I remember the internet was a buzz because that's nuts, especially in today's day and age where people have no media literacy and
It's
don't get what
bold,
they're trying to say.
daring, and kind of fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy because
But
everyone's just, oh shit. But
what are you rating it?
that's tough. No lower than an 8.5. I would dare say 9.
I'm right there with you. I was stuck between an 8.5 and a 9. I give it 8.5 just because the finale, but
I agree.
it's definitely worth watching.
Good TV in general. If you have a
I would
sense
say
of
it's up
humor,
there with Superman too, as far as like really good DCU project.
yeah, I mean, it's consistently the best like thing they put out now. So it's up there. In terms of like all-time comic book TV, it's up there too with Smallville. They're probably my two favorite comic book shows.
And John Cena's so much better than Dave Batista.
You know what? I agree. A lot of people will tell you otherwise, but of the three wrestlers turned actors and also just wrestlers, John Cena is the GOAT.
Facts.
Coolest guy, most wholesome. Dave Batista, lame comparison. He's all shriveled up now, eating tofu. And The Rock is just The Rock in everything. Even his new movie, where apparently he looked less like The Rock, it did really bad. And now everyone's just like, The Rock sucks, which kind of sucks. He was the fucking man growing up.
Are you talking about that A24 movie?
Yeah,
Oh, I wanted to see that.
I heard it didn't do well.
Ooh.
I heard it did bad. Ooh. I mean, not that box office numbies are everything because there's cult classics and whatnot, but I don't know. Doesn't seem well received. But I kind of wanted to see it too. But I think Don Fry caught wind of who it was, whoever like the biopic's about or whatever. And he says, "Why'd you give it to that guy?" He's like, "That guy's goofy." He didn't respect whoever the fuck that guy was.
Hilarious.
So ultimately, maybe it was doomed from the start. Didn't get the Don Fry seal of approval.
That's important, guys.
It's
That's
very important. But yeah, no, back to this. Good TV. Highly recommend. CVJ stamped and approved. If you don't fuck with John Cena, I don't fuck with you.
Facts. That's one of Burger's top guys.
Yeah, it's like him and Tom Brady. Like if we're on the Mount Rushmore of combined CVJ, it's like John Cena, Tom Brady, Elvis, and Jack Kirby.
Facts.
So if you got any idea about what we're about, there it is. But yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. How about Special Spec Corner? Do you think any of these books are worth buying at their current market prices? Like First Vigilante, which is in that New Teen Titans annual. Those I always see them for like $30, maybe a little give or take. And then like a Fightin' 540, first appearance of Peacemaker. You in or out at current prices because it's pretty high.
Only those two books. I
Those
think.
are the only two.
Yeah, because the first one you mentioned is so affordable, and it's not just a first appearance of that, but it's a first appearance of like some other stuff too. So I think that's a book worth having. And then Peacemaker, you could probably wait and buy it lower. So I don't necessarily think the timing's right for that book, but that's a buy and hold book. I don't think Peacemaker is a bad investment.
By the way, that's New Teen Titans Annual 2 to be specific, and Fightin' 540 from Charlton. Luckily, I have both. I got in earlier, but my copy's lower grade. I did also have a Peacemaker 1 from Charlton that I got from $20 at my local shop, but I flipped it a long time ago because I was like, it was a long time ago because I was like, oh, it's a Peacemaker book, even though I was like, that's sweet, amount to too much. But then it did. Those actually got a pretty high floor as well. It's kind of crazy, kind of rivaling the Fightin' 540. But be careful of modern reprints of these books. Just a PSA if you've made it this far. When collecting Charlton books, that a lot of the key issues have modern reprints, you need to be paying attention to the upper box. If it has a blue M in it or a blue logo with a white M, maybe avoid. I mean, unless you don't care about it appreciating in value or anything like that, because that's the less sought out after and more available version. Collecting Charlton books is cool, which by the way, I would also argue, I don't think it's got a ton of juice, but a Judo Master, if they can be had for a decent price, also a Charlton book. I forget what the title of that one is. I'm gonna just take a quick look here because I have it. It's like Special Comics or something. It's Special War Series number 4. which like it doesn't even say that on the cover, I don't think, which is the crazy part. You'd think it would just be Judo Master, but it's not.
See, I feel like that's a book where it'd be fun to get because you like this show, but I don't think that that character has as much staying power as a vigilante. And for the difference in price, that one's kind of like it's a cool grab, but I don't know that I would be all in on it either.
Well, we're here to make cool grabs, Joe. So I'm gonna take that as yeah, it's cool buy. But yeah, I mean if you like these, it's definitely gonna be kind of like a little tier system, kind of to what Joe just alluded to. Easiest is gonna be a vigilante. Thankfully, that's a pretty popular character and it's still staying fairly low. I mean, that sucks if you're an investor, but if you're just a fan, very cool. And then Judo Master's a tier up from there. I didn't get mine for much, but they're also not that cheap. Any Charlton book's probably at least $75 in
It,
decent shape.
it's a cool grab. I just wasn't saying it was spec.
Yeah, no, it don't gotta be spec. And then Fighting 540, spec and cool, but very high floor. Probably gotta pay a few $100 for a lower grade copy still. Hopefully that alleviates. I'd like to upgrade mine, but whatever. So yeah, I guess that's spec corner. Anything else you want to say before we do the usual rundown?
Run it up.
Okie dokie. CBJ Pod on Instagram, CBJ Podcast on Facebook, Comic Book Junkies on YouTube, on everywhere you find podcasts. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell the postman, rate, review it, subscribe to it. 5 stars if you can. Need every rating we can get. We appreciate everybody who's already done that. We appreciate your continued support.
And thank you for we just hit 10K in downloads. That's thanks to you guys.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, Joe. We
Yeah,
got
neither
there.
of us can run very fast anyway.
No, not me, dude. I'll mess up my foot. Then I gotta limp around the comic book store. No thanks. I've limped around there like the penguin so many times. I should just start dressing up. Like, get a little top hat and a cane. Maybe start going "Wah," as I limp. Joe zoned out on the bit, so that's how it's gonna die here. Thanks for listening, y'all.
Well, I was just seeing that thing that you told me about Warner Brothers Discovery is officially up for sale.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because we're talking about it that it popped up in my feed, but let's hope for the best.
Dog, there's no hope.
What's wrong with you?
What do you mean, dude? It's a corporate merger. It's gonna be nothing but pain. Everything cool is gonna get gutted, and then they're gonna min-max to make the most profit before they squeeze it out and kill an American institution. It's evil.
Dang. Well,
People who
guys,
don't even like movies are buying it, and then they're like, "Why don't we make good movies?"
I don't want to
And then
end on a note like this.
well, that's what you brought us to, brother. It's getting real dire out
It's
here.
not me.
We need Superman to save us and stop the merger.
Agreed.
We're
All right, guys.
Peacemaker.
That's the move.
Yeah, that's the move, bros. Getting on out of here.
Later.